What's up, guys? Good morning. All right, so we've got a few I'm watching. Watching SEII. You can see it's gapping up from 369 to 463, so almost a dollar gap. So a pretty big gap so far. BLNK. This was a pretty big mover from yesterday. You can see it's up from 174 where it opened yesterday all the way to 505 right now, starting to head up in pre-market. Watching NSU. It's gapping up some as well, sitting at 340. PI is gapping up from 1358 to 1620. You can see BLMK starting to break that pre-market high now. It's at 508, got up to 513, formed a new pre-market high. And I'm also watching DRIP. It's moving some. It's at 808, closing at 804. RKDA. Gapping up from 930 all the way to 1185. TEUM. Gapping up from 278 to 304. AEZS. Gapping up from 190 to 212. NVRO. Gapping down from 92.26 all the way to 76.94. And HTZ. Gapping down from 1965 or from 2216 down to 2025 where it's at now with a low of 1965. So I'm going to keep an eye on it there and at 20 where it had some previous support. And so yeah, that's my watch list so far. Let me know if you see anything else. I'm still kind of looking to see if I see any more movement. Yeah, I'm kind of watching HTZ for a short as well. Specifically under $20 is where I'm looking to short that one. Maybe down to that 1950 level. Alright, so I'm still kind of looking to see if I could find anything else that I like. All right, so yeah, Mitch. Hey, Mitch, I just got your message on Facebook, man. So yeah, we'll talk about it after the stream. But yeah, I'm interested in that, man. So we'll talk about it later. All right, so what's up, Mitch, Unknown, Mark, 7. Dollar, Randy, Dog. What's up, guys? Yeah, so we actually got a few decent movers today. I'm still kind of looking to see if I can find anything else. OCLR starting to move. Let's see. I'm going to look up BLNK. See if anybody else is posting their watch list with that one. Hopefully I can trade more than I could yesterday on TradeNet. Alright, so a lot of people talking about BLNK. A lot of eyes and movement on this one. I'm still more short biased with it unless it starts to go parabolic. If it starts to go parabolic, you know, obviously I'm long biased with it until it gets to the top. But we'll see. IMTE. YTEN looks good. Kind of missed that one. YTEN. MNK as well. NSPR. So a lot of little gappers today. Not little, but a lot of cheap gappers, I should say. All right, so yeah, a lot of stuff to watch today. All right, so let's see if any of these are actually tradable. I should have some. There's a lot to watch today, which means usually there's at least a few that I can trade. Good morning, D. Evan. What's up, man? If I can, dollar trader. All right, so let's see how many of these are tradable on TradeNet. Moment of truth here. NSU is not. SEII is. Y10 is. PI is. BLNK is not. RKDA is. TEUM is not. MNK is. NSPR is not. HTZ. Alright, so yeah, a majority of these stocks are tradable. Aside from NSU, SEII is tradable. YTEN is tradable. You can see PI is tradable. RKDA is tradable. And so most of the stocks I'm watching this morning are, so that's usually a good thing to see. I'll go ahead and add my watch list to the chat here. There's my watch list so far. I'm still kind of looking. I guess I'm going to start looking up the catalyst for some of these. But yeah, since I can trade a lot of these today on TradeNet, I'm going to look to short a bunch of these really, depending on how the market acts. One of the biggest ones I'm kind of watching for a short is RKDA and PI. So these two I'm looking for a short. Maybe Y10 under 1 or under 2. Small range, but watching it there. Maybe SEII as well. So we'll see what happens. Nice, Frank. Hey, congrats, man. That's a good trade. Yeah, we'll see what BLNK can do here. It's up so much from yesterday, but it could be a parabolic mover. This is kind of the sign of a parabolic mover, up from 177, moving up in pre-market as well at 539 now. So we'll see how high this thing can go today if it does start to run. Most of the time I'm short biased, but there's a certain kind of stock that starts to go parabolic. And I don't know if this one will or not. It may not. It may end up crashing back down. I mean, it is up a lot already, but I'm watching this one to possibly go parabolic. If it does, it'll probably get halted a few times. And so we'll see what happens with it. Alright, so in a second I'm going to look up to see the news stories out on these stocks. Let's see. Alright, so let's look up the news stories out on these. The first one I'm looking up is NSU. Alright, so it says Linden Mining, Eurosun discloses offer to acquire Newton Resources. So Canada's London Mining Corporation and Eurosun Mining on Monday disclosed an offer to acquire the Canadian-based metals company Newsun Resources, which is NSU, for about Canadian 1.5 billion or 1.16 billion US, which Nevsun has rejected. And so NSU rejected the offer, and I guess that's making it ultimately gap up like it's doing. The next one I'm watching is SEII. You can see SEII is moving up as well. Let's see how it's acted the last few days. So this one moves a lot usually in pre-market, but it's been getting pumped up a little bit as well. You can see it had a move here on Wednesday of last week. And so we'll see how this one acts. I'm more short biased with it, but it could move up. So the new story out on SEII is that the Sharing Economy International enters into a licensing agreement with Ekrent Capital Holdings. Sharing Economy International, or SEII, today announced that its wholly owned subsidiary, Sharing Economy Investment Limited, has entered into a license agreement with Ekrent Capital Holdings Limited regarding the grant and exclusive and sub-licensable license from Ekrent to SEII to utilize certain software and trademarks in order to develop, launch, operate, commercialize, and maintain an online website in Taiwan, Thailand, India, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, the Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Japan, and Korea. In return, SEII shall issue to Ekrent 530,000 shares of common stock. Ekrent will guarantee that the operation of its related websites, mobile applications, and business services will contribute revenue of US $15 million and gross profit of $2,910,000 from the closing date until December 31st. And so it's a licensing agreement with another company that SEII has entered into. And so that's pretty good news with it. We'll see how it acts at the open. Like I said before, most of the time when a stock does this, I'm a little bit more short biased, especially if it breaks under 450. But we'll see what happens with it. The next one I'm looking at is YTEN. Yield 10 researchers published research in plant science showing that novel transcription factors represent a promising approach for crop productivity. Alright, so Yield 10 is the company. Alright, so they basically published positive research with YTEN. And so we'll see if that can hold these gains for that move. BLNK is probably the biggest mover from yesterday. And BLNK had a lot of stuff out yesterday. Alright, so the first news story that came out yesterday was Whole Foods Market providing Blink charging electric vehicle chargers at new location. And it basically says Whole Food Market is to join Blink's nationwide charging station network. Loading electric vehicle EV charging station owner, operator, and provider Blink Charging announced today that it has deployed charging stations at 3 Whole Foods markets and are integrated into the development of more stores when they are open. So basically they got to deal with Whole Foods for their charging stations. Sounds like it's an electric car charging station. That is what the company is all about, BLNK for Blink. And so they entered into a small agreement with Whole Foods, and that's ultimately making this big move. I don't know if that news story and release is, I don't know if the partnership is worthy of this big move, but we'll see if it can hold. We'll see if it continues to push here. The next one I'm looking at is PI. It's gapping up some as well. Alright, and it was just the only difference with PI is that it was raised to a buy from a hold by Concord. And so the rating was changed from hold to a buy. And so that's good news. We'll see what happens with it. RKDA, you can see having a lot of volume in pre-market this morning. Really nice push. Let's try to see why it's moving. All right, so Arcadia Biosciences traits increase rice yield by double digits. An, an agricultural An agricultural food ingredient company today announced field trials results from the past 2 crop seasons showing significant yield gains in rice with 3 of Arcadia's proprietary input traits stacked together. So good results for RKDA. That's what's ultimately making it gap up some. Sounds like it's a biosciences slash agricultural company, and they had good results. Next one is TEUM. I believe this is a blockchain related stock, if I remember correctly. I believe it's blockchain, so let's look it up and see. But it's gapping up from 278 to 305. All right, so Paratium, which is TEUM, was awarded $4 million contract from Diversified Enterprise in Asia. Today they announced that it has signed a 3-year, $4 million contract with a diversified enterprise client in the manufacturing, banking, and construction sectors. The established customer will use the Paratium global cloud platform to provide service for their wireless Internet of Things requirements. Alright, so they have a deal made with a company based in Asia. So that's good news for TEUM. We'll see if it can hold. MNK is the next one I'm keeping an eye on. You can see it's gapping up from 12.78 to 13.76, almost exactly $1. So let's look up MNK. Alright, so it sounds like MNK just beat projections with their first quarter results, and that's ultimately why this one's gapping up. So good earnings for MNK. Next one I'm looking at is NVRO. This one's a pretty big gap down, but let's look up to see why. Had some bad news out with this one yesterday. Alright, so it sounds like they had poor first quarter results. It says Nevro's Q1 loss is worse than expected. Revenue misses, reaffirms revenue guidance. Stock dives 16% in after hours. So that's ultimately why NVRO is down, is poor earnings, poor first quarter results. And the last one I'm looking at is Hertz, which is a rent-a-car company, I believe, HTZ. And I'm guessing it's bad earnings as well. Yeah, poor earnings. They missed the estimate. They were worse than estimated. Yeah, wider than expected Q1 loss for Hertz. So that's kind of what I thought it was. I'm also kind of keeping an eye on NSPR here. It's gapping up some. I'll go ahead and look up for the last one. Just look up why this one's moving. Good first quarter results on NSPR as well. And so that's basically what's moving in the market this morning that I see. Alright, so let me catch back up on the chat. Good morning, Astra, Tiny, Sean, Brent, PK, Wilkin, Power Zone, NYC, Andrew. Good morning, guys. Alright, so yeah, we actually got a few decent options today. I can trade most of the stocks on my watch list. And so it's weird how that works. Yesterday, rarely or almost nothing was tradable yesterday on TradeNet. Today, a lot of different stuff is tradable. So I just got to stay patient, not get over aggressive, and you know, try to pull a little bit out the market today. So as of yesterday, I am officially, I've had, let me see, my last losing day was on Tuesday, I think. So I've had 4 profitable days in a row. Only 1 out of 6 days in the last week and a day have been a losing day. I've only lost 1 trade in the last 6 market days, all on stream, so you can watch me do it. So my confidence is pretty high. I can't let that confidence end up making me overconfident, and I can't force trade. So I still got to be careful. I still got to manage my risk, but I've been doing pretty well. 4 profitable days in a row, only 1 losing trade in the last 6 market days, and the rest have been all profitable. So really cool to see go on a little streak like that. Good morning, Sean. Nice, Brent. Good trade, man. Andrew. MYO. MYO got hit right before the close. Maybe earnings. I'll look it up and try to see. I'm not sure why MYO is down. People, it could be from, their first quarter results are supposed to come out on May 9th, so tomorrow. And so people could be predicting and trying to speculate why it's dropping down. But I have no idea. There's not really any news release out on that one. Thanks for the sub, Robert. Appreciate it, man. Welcome. Yeah, we definitely have some options today. Yeah, I'm definitely watching RKDA. Looking to short it, really. But we'll see. Another thing I've been doing that has definitely helped my trading is that I kind of try to wait for the first 10-15 minutes until after the open. That substantially helped my trading in the last week. Is just letting, I know it's kind of tough to sit there and watch some stuff move within the first 10 or 15 minutes, but lately I've been waiting after the first 10 minutes to trade, just because the market's the most crazy within the first 5 or 10 minutes of the open, and so I think that's kind of why I was taking a little bit more losses. But yeah, waiting after the first 10 minutes, it's what's been working for me. So AVGR. Yeah, it's gapping up a little bit. Had a nice push yesterday. I hope it does well for you, Power Zone. Got BLNK a washout long, so we'll see if it dips down and then breaks this 554 area. Right around 550 is kind of the crucial point. But I'm going to mark 554 just because it might have some resistance there as well. So we'll see. Alright, so I do have a few trades I can get into on Robinhood as well. So I may try to jump into a few on Robinhood Web. CRNT7. Yeah, it's gapping up some, about 9 cents. Not the best volume though. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, let's check out the daily charts for some of these. SEII. Where's this one at now? This one's at 474, so it is gapped up to here. Yeah, I'm definitely more short biased with SEII just because you can see usually after these huge pushes it's been making, it ends up coming right back down during the day. So it filled the gap back down here, filled the gap here, and so now it's up to 475 right here. So I'm looking for it to pop right back down, fill the gap, maybe down to 420 or 430. Next one, BLNK. I mean, this one tends to follow through a little bit more. You can see it followed through here. It followed through more than it usually does. But this one's a previous parabolic mover. You can see it went up to $15 in January, and then it came back down to $9. So that one's interesting as well. Let's look at YTEN. I mean, YTEN usually, from what I see on the daily chart, it usually holds its pushes, but it takes a few days and it ends up coming back down. So we'll see with YTEN. Looking at PI as well. This one has gapped up to 16. Right at 16, so right here. It's kind of got a gap to fill if it can head up. So this one looks interesting. So gonna watch PI here. And you can see HTZ, I was watching it around 20. It broke down to 1990 now. We'll see if $20 acts as support or resistance, or if it drops under this 1965 level. We'll see if it drops under there, kind of looking at it for a short under there, but it's down so much already. And so I'm also watching it to see if it possibly bounces off of this low of pre-market. We'll see if it can do that as well. And my biggest watch for a short is probably RKDA, especially under this 1150, maybe under 1135 right here. So if it drops under there, it looks weak. I may try to short this one. Has a lot of volume. Let's look at the daily chart. Where's this one at now? This one's at 1150, so it is right. This one's a previous parabolic mover, but it's right here at 1150. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it can hold over that. Like I said, this one's a previous runner. It went up to 66.56 previously, so a huge move with this one. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. Alright, so yeah, kind of watching PI and RKDA. We'll see if it can move. SEII and Y10. So these are probably my four biggest watches this morning aside from BL and K, which I'm going to keep an eye on BL and K. So probably these four are my biggest watches: BL and K, SEII, Y10, and RKDA. But there's a lot of other movers and gappers that I'm watching, so there should be a lot of opportunity this morning. Let's see what the SPY is doing today. The SPY is slightly down, but not much. It's basically break even. So the market overall today is almost break even. Yesterday the SPY ended red, so it ended down some, but not too much. Very small loss. E and DP. Yeah, I kind of missed this one. Looks like a higher float stock. You can tell it's a higher float because if you look at the bid and the ask, it's kind of stacked with it. And you can also see there's a little bit of white here in this choppiness. When you see white on Thinkorswim in the charting, it usually means it has a relatively large float, but it is gapping up some for a low float or for a high floater. Let's see. And it's definitely moving more than it usually does. So yeah, this is one that I'm watching for a short as well. E and DP. Somebody said BLNK, they're scared to short it. I completely understand. I probably won't short this one just because of the daily chart. I'm more short biased with it just because it's up so much already, but you can see the daily chart. This thing previously has gone up to 15, you know, and then right back down. So it's a previous parabolic mover, and because of that, it has the potential to do it again. And I just don't want to be caught in a halted stock going up, and kind of way too much risk for me to really want to short BLNK. Yeah, AKER. So, oh, you're talking to 7. Alright, so hopefully I can keep the green streak going today. Like I said, had 4 profitable days in a row. 6 in the last 6 days, only had 1 losing trade total. The rest have all been profitable days, although small, but I definitely have some consistency going. Hopefully I can keep that up. My problem is not when I win. My problem is I hate losing. I think that's the biggest kind of problem I have with my trading, is that I absolutely hate losing. And when I lose, I end up trying to force trades. NSU, I'm a little bit mixed on NSU. I can't trade it, so I can't end up shorting it, so I can only really go long with it. But it's a small gap. You know, I'm watching it under all the support it had at 330. Had a lot of support and, you know, resistance there, so watching it over that level. You see RKDA starting to test this low as well down here at 1140, so we'll see if that can move. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to grab something to drink. Market opens up in 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm back. YTN is hugging $2 pretty closely. It's been kind of hovering in between 196 and 204 for the last few minutes. So we'll see what it can do. BLNK. Kind of looking for a washout on this one, down to 5, and then maybe a bounce back over 550. We'll see though. HTBX. HTBX just looks like a high float. It looks like it's got a higher float. It's at 133. You can see the level 2's kind of stacked up on HTBX, so the float's large. It's kind of been very silent the last 3 days. Hasn't really moved too much, but it gapped up yesterday, came right back down. So we'll see what HTBX can do. Not my favorite one, really. GNPX, Mitch. Yeah, GNPX is gapping up from 1380 to 1470. So almost $1, 90-cent gap up as of now. There's also, like I said, there's NSPR is another one I'm watching. Small gap, 10-cent gap. But you can see one of my favorite swing trading setups for an overnight hold is actually getting in when it has a really nice volume spike right before the close. And you can see this one's the volume spiked up about 10 minutes before the close. Might be better on the daily chart. You can see this volume spike here. Really nice volume spike right before the close, and you can see it's gapping up some in pre-market as well. So that's kind of what I look for with my swing trades. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on TEUM. It is right at 309 now, high of 320. Gonna watch that one as well. Alright, so the market opens up in 1 minute, guys. SMRT has continued. Yeah, DNR looks like a little bit higher float stock, but we'll see if it can move some. Alright guys, market opens up in 30 seconds. Alright, so here's the open coming up pretty soon in 20 seconds. 10 seconds, guys. Here's the open right now. Good luck, all. Alright, so there's the open. BLNK pushing up quickly, up to 563. TEUM up to 312. Alright, so a big drop in BLNK. Like I said, I think if it does wash out long, it's going to pull back to like 5 maybe, but we'll see. TEUM is up to 314. PI is up to 1670. Sorry, 7. Yeah, I've got a family over right now, so you may be able to hear them talking in the background, but that's ultimately why I'm talking a little bit quietly today. They're talking in the living room. I got family over. PI, look at PI starting to push. PI up to 1745, so a big move. Alright, so there's the pullback to this line right here. SEII, big drop. Alright, so there's the drop down to 5 on BLNK. But PI probably had the biggest spike so far. If you look at PI, this thing went all the way up to 17, over 17. NFEC trying here. Look at FRGI. It's up from 24 to 28 so far, so a really big move on FRGI. SEII dropping down, testing 4. Watching RKDA under this 1088 level. Alright, so if BLNK holds this 510 level as resistance, it may continue washing. TCMD moving up some. You can see the SPYs kind of having a little bit of a washout long here. Alright, so you can see RKDA may be a washout long here. One of the bigger ones I'm watching is PI. You can see PI's flagging some. Had a 1 minute pullback here. PI testing 1750 again. Alright, so there goes PI breaking that high of the day after that 1 minute pullback. Up to 1764 on PI. Alright, BLNK starting to wash here. We'll see if PI can hold this $half area as support now after breaking over it. Alright, so I'm kind of watching HTZ here. Y10 is not moving like I wanted it to. It's just too slow. Keeping an eye on HTZ. Alright, so biggest one I'm kind of watching right now is HTZ. Kind of watching MNK here, see if MNK can keep bouncing. Yeah, there's a lot of movement, a lot of gappers. I don't really see any entries except for maybe BLNK here. Look for maybe BLNK to get rejected here, break the lows and continue. But it's just ultimately pretty risky, regardless, to jump in BLNK right now. Yeah, you. Doubt it's tradable. Let's see. Not tradable, unfortunately. NSU moving up. So yeah, a lot of these stocks that I was more long or short biased with are actually heading up. NIHD. Yeah, this one's kind of struggling too. Wash out long maybe. Yeah, I understand with YTEN, it's just not moving too much. Maybe under this low right here, but it would have to hold that previous support as resistance if it does do that. So we'll see. Not super confident in it. You. Yeah, I could trade it on Robinhood. That's true. The only thing I'm worried about with UUU is I'm worried it's gonna fail after breaking over 3. I'm kind of watching MNK here. Under 13, down to maybe 12. Yeah, it's a 5-cent spreader. So certain stocks will almost always have a 5-cent spread, and UUU is one of them. So a lot of times you'll see stocks like UUU. Oh man, there's the run, there's the rip on UUU. But yeah, certain stocks will almost always have either a 5 or a 10-cent spread, and you can see that's kind of what UUU is. It's one of those stocks that a lot of people call them nickel spreaders because they always have a 5-cent spread. See, really, I don't see too much I like right now. Everything's really choppy, even after all these big moves. I'm kind of looking at PI here. But man, look at that move on UUU. Oh yeah, RKDA does look like a short. Especially if it holds this previous area as resistance, I may jump in. So yeah, watching RKDA pretty closely here. The spread on RKDA is serious though. Right now it's got a, well, now the spread got a little bit better. It's a 9-cent spread, but RKDA is probably one of the bigger watches I'm looking at right now. That and PI. All right, so there's the washout long on BLNK. Look at this move. I actually might jump in BLNK on Robinhood with like 10 shares. But yeah, there's the move everybody was talking about on BLNK. Washout long. Just like everybody predicted. I think it's going to go parabolic now. Up to 611. Alright, so I was watching RKDA for a short here. We'll see if it gets rejected at 11 is the kind of area I'm looking at it now. I'm wondering what the SPY's looking like now. SPY's really choppy. So everything else is really choppy as well. Looking at PI here maybe for a short. Under 1650. Alright, so you can see the SPY's trying to crack under the lows here. If the SPY cracks under the lows, I'm looking at TVIX to push up. But the market's really choppy right now. SPY breaking under the lows here. Yeah, BLNK washing some. Yeah, so the SPY's breaking under the lows here. Nice, Randy. Good job, Randy. That's very true, man. It doesn't matter how big of the gain. As long as it's a gain, man, you're doing well. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with patiently waiting, Charles. I haven't gotten in anything yet. EXPD has been on a crazy run. TCMD. We'll see if BLNK can have any more momentum. Look at ENDP, guys. ENDP washout long as well, up to 630. ENDP pushing up. It's at 630. Kind of watching PI here. Specifically under a low of the day break under 16 on PI. Same thing with RKDA. Just trying to patiently wait for my setups here. Don't see too much. Yeah, unknowns. That's my father-in-law. He's playing with my son right now. My son's home from school today because he's sick, so I got in-laws over here today. That's why I'm talking a little bit quiet. Looking at RKDA here for a low of the day break. Alright, so there goes RKDA for that break. I'm still watching under 20 for maybe 20 shares. Big drop. Alright, there's BLNK. I'll probably jump out of it here. Alright, so I got out of BLNK here for a $6 loss. You barely missed it. Just not doing what I really wanted it to. Wow, look at AMDA. Alright, so what I'm really looking for, I'm looking for RKDA to push up and test this 1050 level. Alright, so AMDA is halted, it seems. Ooh, I barely got out of BLNK on the down halt. Very, very lucky I got out of that one in time. Right. Yeah, I just have a massive book collection, you know. Sorry, talking to my sister-in-law. Alright, so I'm still waiting for RKDA and PI. PI waiting for it to break under 16 and then hold that level as resistance. Same thing with RKDA. Oh man, I'm bummed out. I missed Hertz. HTZ. Look at HTZ here. Would have been a really nice short under these lows. Completely missed it. Under 1050, still waiting for this low of the day break here. Still waiting for HTZ here to break under the whole dollar maybe. Yeah, 7. No, my sister-in-law, she's our age. She's my age. And so she noticed all the books in my house, and she thought I was just a really, really heavy reader. And so my wife's kind of explaining the Amazon business to her, but I was joking around with her because she thought I was like a really heavy reader and just never got rid of my books. So I was trying to explain it to her. Yeah, I'm watching RKDA. I mean, it's not my favorite one. I would have really loved a short HTZ. Today, I'm just trying to stay as patient as possible here. I didn't see too many setups I really liked. The market's actually really choppy, even though there's a lot of gappers this morning. There was a lot of movement in pre-market. If you look at the spot, the market's just been pretty choppy overall. And I mean, it's down some, but it's very, very choppy here. And so that's kind of why I haven't jumped in anything yet. I'm just waiting for good setups. Maybe PI, one of the reasons I've had so many profitable days in a row is that I try to wait for the perfect setup. And while that's never really going to happen, I want to see, like, for instance, I want to see PI break under this low at 16, and then I want to see it test it and hold it as resistance. If it can do that, then I'm interested in it. But if not, I probably won't jump into it. So I'm just trying to waiting for the best possible setups that I see, and if I don't see them, I'm just not going to jump in anything. HEAR. Nice, Mitch. Congrats, man. All right, BLNK breaking under the lows here. Glad I got out when I did for like a $5 or $6 loss. Not going to touch it now. I mean, it's up so much already, it could potentially wash, but too risky ultimately. True, insurance. Very true. What I mean is, I'm just waiting for my setup, like my favorite setups, and if I don't see them, I'm just basing it off of the setups that have historically been the best setups for me, and so I'm just waiting for those. If I don't see them, I won't mess with it. The biggest one that I missed, that I'm bummed out that I missed, is HTZ here. I was watching it under this low, and so this is one of the ones that I would have gotten into, but I completely missed it, and that's the only one that I kind of have a little bit of FOMO with. Way too extended on the downside now, so I'm not going to really touch it, but that's the biggest one that I missed that I'm bummed out about. PI looking like a possible reversal here. Congrats, Mitch. That's awesome, man. Good trades, bro. NYC, the ultimate bottom, huh? AMDA. Yeah, AMDA. Just very, very big move. Oh, 100% insurance. My favorite trading book by far is Market Wizards. Great book. Really gives you a good insight into kind of the mind of like really good traders. You know, really good traders. The way I read Market Wizards is actually you get if you sign up with Audible, and I have no relation to Audible. I have no business relationship with Audible in any way. But if you sign up with Audible, they give you a free ebook. And when I signed up, my first ebook was the newest updated version of Market Wizards. And so I listened to it in my car as I was driving around, working. Really good book, really nice book, you know. And that's one of the biggest thing I learned about is you got to wait for the market to go to you. You got to wait for your setups. If you don't see anything you really like, you don't have to trade. You know, you don't have to trade every day. And I know some of my viewers may, you know, want me to get in and out of positions every day, constantly, but I'm just waiting for my setups, you know. Kind of thinking of a long setup for HTZ here. It had this huge wash, maybe looking for it to bounce up to this 1960 level. I appreciate the sub, Adrian. Welcome. Thanks for watching. Alright, so HTZ, I know I said I'm more long biased with it, but man, if it drops under 877, still looking pretty weak. I just think it's a little extended on the downside. Don't know if I want to risk it. Thanks for the sub, Festival. Appreciate it. Welcome. Congrats, insurance. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I've had 4 profitable days in a row on TradeNet. Today I'm down a very small amount, so this may be the end of my overall green streak, but I still have my TradeNet green streak going, and so I'm just waiting for good trades on TradeNet. TradeNet's ultimately the most important one for me, and so just waiting for good setups on TradeNet. Don't want to force anything. AMDA. Crazy move, man. Up from $1.06 to $2.50 in what, 35 minutes. Crazy move. Look at AMDA here, trying to break 250. Still watching RKDA here. PI, I'm still more short biased with this one, especially if it gets rejected at 1750. CHEK, Sheikah. CHEK is just not moving. No volume. Hey, buddy. My son's over here. You want to say hey to everybody? Come here. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Say good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody.
All right, bud. Go see your mama.
I'm going to sit right here.
Okay, you can sit right there if you're quiet, okay? If you're quiet. Don't touch any of the books, okay? All right. Sorry, yeah, that's my son. He's 4. He's home from school today. Ran a fever yesterday, so he's staying home today. Hope so, insurance. I hope so. Yeah, he's running around playing on the pool table now. He's racing cars on the pool table in our in my office, so he's playing. Nah, man. Those books are too expensive for him to play with. There's no kid books anyway, but he tries to play with them anyways. Yeah, I told him to say good luck. He gets shy though. You could tell he got a little shy. Alright, so I'm still kind of waiting for good setups that I like. I don't really see too many I like right now. Yeah, he's a good kid for the most part. 4 is a tough age. 4 is a tough age though, especially for boys. My little girl was the sweetest she could ever be at 4 years old. My son is like throwing stuff at people, hitting teachers and stuff like that. So boys is tough at 4, but he's a good kid. Alright, so I'm still kind of waiting for good setups. I'll let the stream go a little bit longer while I wait. Just trying to find a good setup to get into. If I don't see anything, I'm not going to jump in. And so far this morning, I haven't seen too much I really like. Maybe the washout long setup on BLNK. I got in a little bit late, took a small loss on it, but you know, it didn't get too much higher. I mean, it went up to 70 cents higher, but that's kind of the only good setup that I saw. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm watching is PI right now. That's what I said. I was more short biased with it. Very rarely does a stock push up huge, come all the way back down to the low of the day, and then break the high of the day after that. But I mean, it's possible. But PI is what I'm looking at for a short. Yeah, 17 is probably a little bit better because they have that support here and here. So I like 17 a little bit more. Hold on. Hey, buddy. Hey, no, buddy. You're going to scratch that up, okay? You can't do that, okay?
Oh, I'm racing cars on there.
I know you're racing cars on there, but you're going to scratch it up, okay? Alright? You can race cars on the floor. There you go. My son is on our $5,000 pool table, racing cars, scratching that thing up. Buddy, hey, what did I just say?
I'm racing cars on the floor.
Okay, if you're on the floor, that's okay. But buddy, you gotta stay quiet, okay? That's loud. Okay, you gotta do it slower. Alright? CNET. Sorry guys, yeah, my son's home from school today, so I'm dealing with him a little bit. Yeah, CNET, big volume spike. But yeah, so far I really haven't seen much I like. You know, obviously if you watch my streams, I'm more short biased. And I haven't seen too many good shorts today. A few good longs, but most of the time after I catch them, they're already done. Alright, so yeah, just kind of patiently waiting for my setup. Don't see too much. Maybe Hertz for like a long-term play on Hertz. RKDA, I mean, it's probably my main watch right now, aside from PI, but the spread's just kind of crazy. Jack, buddy, what did I say? Okay, you gotta get out of here. Timeout? Okay, out of here. You didn't listen.
I want to stand here.
Okay, what did I say, buddy? I said you can't race cars on the pool table.
How about on this?
Yeah, you can race them on that, but listen, buddy, if you do one more thing and you don't listen, you're gonna go to timeout. Do you understand? What do you say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's up, Joe? What's up, man? Welcome. Yeah, sorry, my son's home. Got to get on to him because he's not listening. He's racing cars on the pool table again. You know, the only one I'm really thinking about is PI and HTZ. Kind of thinking about maybe jumping in with like a really small share size on PI, and if it breaks the high of the day, just getting out. But if it continues to fall, maybe a longer term hold down to 16 for a small gain. We'll see. Check my Twitter. So Mark, I just checked my Twitter. So Mark, basically, all you gotta do to do the red lines is you go down to the button next to the magnifying glasses. You can see it says active tool. You click that, and to get the lines, you just go to the money sign with the line under it. It says price level, and you click on there. And from there, you know, you can draw lines, you know, wherever you want. The only thing that's stopping me from getting in PI, and maybe it's just my emotions, but it kind of looks like a cup and handle now, especially if it bounces off of 17. You know, if it bounces off of 17, it may be a cup and handle. BLNK, I don't think I can trade this one, but maybe a good short. NYC, it's just facebook.com/beginner trades. Here, I'll go ahead and add it. Twitter is @beginner trades. And maybe I should trust my instincts a little bit more as you see PI starting to wash. No problem, NYC. Yeah, sorry, it hasn't been more. There hasn't been more action today in the market. I'm just, you know, I gotta wait for my setups, and if I don't see my setups, I'm not getting into them. Usually, I find at least a few setups that I like. Today, not really. I haven't really seen too much. The only setups that I really liked was HTZ under this low right here, and it would have been a beautiful setup, but I missed it. I was a little bit late with it, so. You know, RKDA volume starting to go down some. Huge order on the ask of 22,000 shares, 20,000 shares. Nice, Mitch. You're killing it today, man. Wow, look at GNPX. Look at the spike here. Crazy move. Yeah, look at GNPX, man. Up to 1725 from 15. From 1450, still moving up to 1736. Crazy move. Yeah, I'm just waiting for RKDA to keep dropping here, but I don't know if it will. Yeah, no, I think you did call that one out this morning. Mitch, good call, man. EBIO. I like this one. I mean, I like this one for a short under this 275 level. You can see it was a descending triangle. If you look here, this is one I probably, a play I should probably get involved with more is triangles. You can see it was getting, it was a descending triangle when it finally broke underwards. It ended up washing. So that's a setup I should pay more attention to, I think. But just didn't end up getting in. Alright, so there goes RKDA finally breaking under the $half on both the bid and the ask. And I'm actually going to do a video about this because one thing that a lot of new traders do, and I think a lot of traders make this mistake. Look at GNPX. Wow. EGY. Yeah, EGY looks good. High float. But yeah, a big mistake I think a lot of new traders make is that, you know, when they're trading half or whole dollar breaks, they don't wait for the bid and the ask to get either over it or under it. They'll see either just the bid get over it or just the ask get or just the bid get under it, and they'll jump in when really you should wait for both of these to get under it. You know, you want to wait for the bid and the ask because it can be a little bit deceptive if you jump in before both the bid and the ask are under that previous support or resistance level. So like I said, I always try to wait for the bid and the ask to get under or over a previous support and resistance level. That's really important, because if a spread is big on a stock and you watch just the bid get over it, it's going to be a little bit deceptive, because technically it still hasn't broken over or under that support and resistance level yet. And so it's important to wait for both of them to get over or under, if that makes sense. G and PX still looking strong here. Nice 1 minute pullback, still pushing. Spread's just a little sketchy for RKDA. Yeah, no problem, Tiny. Yeah, usually he's at school when I stream, but today he was home. Like I said, he ran a fever yesterday. We brought him to the doctor. He's okay, but he ran a fever yesterday, so that's ultimately why he's home. Yeah, no, Penguin. I have my own Discord group. Rarely anybody ever talks in it. But no advertising other channels, man. Sorry. Or no advertising other Discord groups, just because I have my own Discord group, Alright, so a big pullback on GNPX. But yeah, no hard feelings, Penguin. I just have my own Discord group, so I don't want other people, I don't want to advertise anybody else. It's kind of like my competition, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm looking at EGY here. I appreciate the sub, Alien. Welcome in. Alright, so there's the $half break on EGY. Now, what I'd preferably like to see is I'd like to see it hold this area as support now once it breaks over. BLNK bouncing. Now, there's EGY breaking the $half. Alright, so watching RKDA pretty close here. It's still testing these lows. Sorry guys, my son's in there driving around cars and stuff, so. Yeah, you'll bounce back, Tiny. Smart way to do it though is paper trading, so. I'll see you tomorrow, Tiny, if you're out. Hey, bud. Hey, bud, come here. Come here. feeling okay? You want to say hey to everybody again? Okay. Say hey everybody.
Hey everybody.
You gotta say it louder.
Hey everybody.
Say good luck.
Good luck.
You want to tell them your name? Tell them your name.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Leon.
You still feeling okay?
No.
No. Nah, you're okay.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Huh? That's a paper clip. Alright, so RKDA breaking under the lows. Yeah, he's a good kid. He's trying to milk it, though. He doesn't have a fever or anything. He's feeling okay. But he wants you to think he's feeling horrible. Get some more attention. Alright, so there goes RKDA here. I'll probably attempt to do this trade. If it doesn't work out, I'm just going to be done for the day. Oh, my gosh. Oh. Completely missed it. There's the... I've been waiting all day for this trade. All I can do is laugh about it. So frustrating. All day for that trade. Man. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, guys, I'm done for the day. I'm done for now. I might get in something else. If I get in anything else, I will, I'll try to upload a video of it. Frustration's kicking in. I missed RKDA. Really been watching that trade all day, looking for that position. Yeah, super frustrating, man. I was watching it here at 10:40 or 10:30, and would have been a really nice trade, but unfortunately, I just didn't jump in time. It dropped too fast, I think. So I think I'm done for the day, guys. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Sorry I didn't get into anything on TradeNet today. You know me. I usually end up getting into at least one position on TradeNet. Today I just didn't see too much I like, and the one that I did like, which was RKDA, I just completely missed it. But at the same time, here's the thing. My trade idea was correct. You know, I was watching this line right here at 10:30. And it broke under there really nicely. Eventually got down to 9.80, so I would have been up 50 cents. So it would have been a really beautiful trade. Unfortunately, I just missed it. Yeah, I was just talking to my son, so no worries. My trade idea was correct, so I have a little bit more confidence. There's a huge bounce back. Look at that bounce back, man. I mean, now I'm a little bit more interested in it, especially if it gets rejected there again. But I don't know. I'm probably going to finish and close out the stream. But yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to do me a favor and you appreciate this content and like watching me trade as well as call out what's moving in the market, do me a favor and hit the like button right now on this video. And I appreciate it if you do. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now. Good luck. I hope you'll join us tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.